A great job that particular play, so hopefully they can keep it up here and get the Tigers in scoring position because the Tigers are in need of a score here tonight.
Right, so Tigers are going to come out, 4 receivers, 3 at the top, 1 at the bottom. Barnes is going to take it. He's going to try to break it upfield after a decent game. One last block, and he would have swung along. But that was a great job by Tony Barnes to find a little pretty stuff for Mill and pick up a nice bunch of yards.
Yeah, Tony gets about 6 yards on the play, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 4 as the Tigers get across midfield to about the 47 of the Bulldogs. So they are knocking down the Bulldogs' door.
Right, and they have to keep this steady flow on offense. You know, continue to pick up the yards necessary for the first down. As long as they can keep this steady flow, I mean, they could easily find themselves in scoring zone. So Mason takes the snap, is going to hand off to Barnes, but nothing happened as soon as he takes the snap, but there was no hole created by that offensive line.
So that brings up 3rd and 5 on the play, and with 1:51 left to go in the first quarter, the Tigers are going to be trying to decide what to do next.
Right. So let's see what they're gonna choose to do now. All right, they're going to line up with 4 receivers, 3 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. It's going to be, it's like it's going to be Barnes line up to the right of Mason. Barnes going to take it up the middle, take it down after the game left only a couple of yards.
Pick up a little yardage on the play.
Going to be no gain on the play, so it's going to be 4th and 5 on the play.
Again, so the Tigers are going to have to hunt it away again, and still the Tiger offense not able to get anything going.
Yeah, just come to a stalemate, and again without 5-5 McGee, you got a question.
Well, and I mean, I don't think they have to make themselves one-dimensional. I mean, they still have a great quarterback in Mason. So I mean, what I feel they're going to have to find more ways to open up the running game. Or the passing game, should I say. And they've only really tried it once. I mean, it kind of worked, but I mean, if J. Jones would have caught the ball. But still, at that time, no need to abandon the passing game. Just keep working it and see what you have.
You're exactly right. So the Bulldogs are going to take over on about the 15-yard line. They're on 15-yard line here, so it's going to be 1st and 10, Bulldogs.
Right now, let's see what the Bulldogs are going to do. Formation they've been working the whole game, which is the wing team formation. Seems to be causing a lot of confusion for that Tigers defense.
Yeah, you're going to have to play containment football against the Bulldogs with this wing T offense. So,
if the snap is going to hand off to the running back, going to cut off the left field, he's going to be taken down by Ben Knight. It's like right about the 20-yard line.
So he gains about 6 yards on the play. So we're going to bring up 2nd and about 4, 2nd and 5, we'll say, 2nd and 5. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. So the Bulldogs lead 14-0 at the end of the 6:01 graphic first quarter.
I wouldn't really say it's been somewhat of an interesting first quarter, but it's I don't know. The question.
What do you say?
The flow of the game could be a little bit better. I mean,
it could.
I think the Tigers can mix up the play calling a bit. I mean, it seems that they're relying too much on the ground game. They have a talented set of receivers, so they could easily go to the passing game. And even when the last pass that they executed,
it could be a generational thing.
I mean, it could be that. And if you notice, even with a lot of high school games as well as a lot of college games, the play calling has really changed over the years.
People really don't, nowadays they really don't get into contact sports.
And it seems that is true. I mean, they try to avoid injuries, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's football. Football is a contact sport.
Football is a contact sport. I mean, you're going to have to hit somebody in order to stop them. And getting out of the way, tippy-toeing out of the way is not going to, it's not going to
Not going to get it.
It's not going to help you. And it's 2nd and 5 for the Bulldogs to start the second quarter.
So they're going to reverse fields here. And Bulldogs on offense. Cole's going to take the snap and hand it off to Dallin Jones. I'm going to stop after a pickup of a couple of yards.
So it's going to bring up 3rd and 4. Bulldogs gain a yard there. So 3rd and 4. 11:42 left in the first half. The second quarter being brought to you by Laurel Home Center.
And it seems like the way that the Bulldogs are running the ball, maybe the Tigers will try a different defensive scheme, maybe more of a blitz or something to send the linebacker.
And here we go, the Tigers stop on shoestring tackle.
It looks like that was Ben Knight on this tackle for the Tigers. Great job. Ben Knight been quite active tonight.
He has. Ben Knight has been on, it seems like, every play in there, so he's done a really good job so far.
The Bulldogs are going to go to their sideline. Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. So we welcome y'all listening there in Snowshoe.
Bulldogs back on offense. They're going to pass the ball long. High kick.
Fair catch call.
It's David Moore, but he's going to fair catch it. There was a bottom Bulldog in his face there. Smart call by Jalen Morris.
Well, when it rains, it pours. It seems like the Tigers hadn't got a bounce, and the Bulldogs got a sure enough good one there on that play. We're going to hear from Brian Grantham at the half, and he's going to give us all the stats from the first half action. So it's good to have Mr. Hole in attendance with us tonight. Well, I don't know, but they say they can hear us. I don't know. We thank you for listening. You know, whether
Mason hands it off. That was like Jalen Morris. Wow.
Morris gets
dragging a few defenders.
Yeah. Way to go, Morris.
Wow. I think that's what happens to Jalen Morris right to run the ball. You know, he was a star running back last year, and after a freak injury that happened in Taylorsville, he was out for the remainder of the season. I haven't really seen him at the running back position so far this season. He's been primarily on the kickoff unit and the punt return unit. But I mean, seeing him back in there, I mean, his first carry of this game, and wow, it was a great chunk of yards there. Looks like they're going to keep him in. They're going to come out. One receiver at the top, one at the bottom. There's Morris lining to the left. They're going to take the handoff, take it up the middle for a couple of yards.
And Tigers get 2 yards on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and long.
I tell you, John, it looks like from the way he carried that ball in the previous play, that leg is healed up pretty good.
It has. So he's run the football hard and strong, and you know, with 9 minutes left, it looks like the Tigers have something going on offense.
All right, so let's see. They're going to come out in the same formation. Well, 2 receivers at the top, 2 at the bottom. Cole's going to take it.
Hey, so, you know, Mason gets back, he fires the ball into Hudson, he catches the ball and gets a little, you know, get a couple extra yards on the play. So it's all about the yak on them kind of plays right there. So it's 1st and 10 in Bulldog territory around the 38-yard line.
Well, and that was a great job by Mason. He showed great accuracy on that play, and Jay Hudson showed great hands. I mean, he caught that ball in front of 2 Bulldog defenders, so that was a great job. So Moore's going to take the handoff. He's going to cut up backfield. 25-yard line. Wow, Morris is really on the roll tonight.
He did a great job there, getting another gain of about 11 yards on the play. So it's 1st and 10 down around the Bulldog. It looks like 24-yard line.
Right, and you know what? This is something that the Bulldogs didn't prepare for.
No.
They didn't prepare for Javale Morris. And I mean, he's a different type of back. This guy, I mean, he can be a scat back, the power back. He's more of a balanced back.
He does a great job, and so that's a great weapon for Coach Braddock to have.
He's going to line up same formation. So he's going to fake the handoff to Morris. He's going to keep it himself, but he's not going to really pick up any yards on the play.
He gains about a couple yards on the play, so it's going to be 2nd and 8. with about 8:28 left to go in the first quarter. Tigers trailing 14-0. So a score here would be a big shot in the arm for our Tigers.
And so now I feel like this Bulldog defense, they really don't know what to expect. So now they have an element going where they can pass the ball, they can run the ball. Then they have you never know who's going to have it, either Morris or Mason could have the ball. So they're probably in a state of confusion right now. They're going to give it to Morris. This time he's going to break a tackle, cut up the middle, break another tackle. He's dragging a few defenders. Wow, he's showing some toughness up that middle.
Morris is putting on a show for the crowd here tonight. Just wish the crowd would get more into it. So, so there they go. It's 1st and 10.
And they're threatening.
Right outside of the 10-yard line, and the Tigers are looking to punch it in here. So with 7:45 left, they're doing a good job of marching it right back down the field on the Bulldogs.
Right, and I can tell Morris, he has missed running that ball. I mean, you can tell he's really been missing. He's been out of commission for a while, but I mean, he's just thankful to be able to run the ball. Looks like Mason's going to keep the ball himself. He's going to outrun the defender along the left side, crossing the 5, and into the end zone.
He's going to be close. He's going to be close.
It's going to be a touchdown for the Tigers.
Mason Smith on the 11-yard run. He scampers. He sees a hole that's created by the offensive line. I think they heard us up here, Kinsley. And they score with 7:21 left, and Patrick Little comes on, or is Garcia coming on to attempt the extra point. So it's 14-6 in favor of the Bulldogs on a nice scoring play and drive by our Tigers.
And see what seemed to happen on that play is, as I've stated, the defense is confused about who's going to have the ball, because now you have a quarterback, Mason Smith, who can run, and also have Jose Lamore. It seemed like he faked the handoff to Morris, but he decided to keep
down.
it.
It's up this way. It's good. So that makes it 14-7 with 7:21 left in the first half. You're listening to the second quarter of Tiger football being produced by Something to Talk About, and this second quarter is being brought to you by Laurel Home Center.
Right, and just look at the look on Coach Bratter's face. I mean, to see him
a sign of relief is pretty good.
Right, and next to see him go up to Jazayla Morris and just give him that outside. I mean, he's actually see the kid back at the running back position as well.
You're exactly right. A lot of times, people in the stands don't really know what's going on. They think they do, but sometimes they don't. I mean, it's a lot harder when you coach youth league. When you go from trying to coach youth league to high school football.
Hey, that's kind of like reminds me of before I started playing the game. I didn't know what was going on. But when you actually find out what's going on and get into the game, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's always good to cheer these players on. The Tigers are going to kick it off. The Bulldogs are going to bring it back. Wow, the pretty good return by the Bulldogs. We're going to bring it out to the 40-yard line.
So the Bulldogs saw a crease in there, and they hit it in stride, and they really picked up some good yards. So.
Yeah, that was a huge save by that Tiger defender.
It's going to be 1st and 10 from the Tiger, from the Bay Springs 40.
So let's see if the defense get ready to take the field. Let's hope the defense can put on the same type of performance as the Tiger outfit. Bulldog outfit is going to continue to stay in that winning formation. Hold on the field, take the snap, and going to hand it off to Hosen. That's going to pick up a middle game. A great job by that defense.
And so that's what the Tiger defense is going to have to do. They're going to have to step up. They're going to have to play a little bit harder. They can't play soft. They're going to have to wrap up and tackle. So that was a loss of 1 there. So be ready, Carson! And 11 for the Bulldogs from the 39-yard line.
Ball back on the center. There he goes. Whistle flag on the play.
And it's going to be false start there. The Bulldogs moved a little earlier. So that's going to back them up 5. So that's going to make it 2nd and 16 for the Bulldogs.
Right, and they have to make sure all men are set before they send somebody in motion. That's one of the things I really never understood about a false start. I mean, if you know, number one, what the snap count is, really there's no reason to jump off sides. Sometimes just the man just isn't set in time, and the man goes in motion. Flag.
You're exactly right.
They line up again. Cole takes the snap, is going to hand it off for a running back. He bets.